So I ordered the FYG4 3-axis handheld gimbal off of Amazon, and I found it on a couple of other places online, but it looked like they were all going to come from Asia. It's a pretty expensive piece of equipment, you know, 395 bucks, and I felt like, well, going through Amazon might give me more, you know, legal follow through if there were any issues. And it actually didn't take too long to get here. Looks like I ordered this on, what is this? January 14th, and so that was 8 days ago. Today is the 22nd, and it just arrived. The FedEx guy showing up, and this is what it looks like here. Got this nice yellow box with tons of tape all over it, and there's some documents under here, so I just pulled those out. Whole stack of documents here. So there's like an invoice, and there's this, you know, letters from China, a whole packet here that actually shows the batteries inside, because it does come with two sets of batteries. I guess the new unit, the version 4, only takes 2 batteries instead of 3, and it comes with 4 batteries total. So, you know, there they are. So that was probably like for custom, since they're lithium-ion cells. And there is the box. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this thing up a little bit and then continue filming. I was flipping the box over. I haven't actually started cutting yet. It looks like they might have opened it up, you know, customs or something on the way here, because you can see the yellow tape has been cut, and then there's just some clear tape that's sort of patching it up. So, you know, I'm glad it made it. And again, 8 days, that's not too bad. So here, I'll continue. Great, so I finally got to the inside. You can see there's a lot of bubble wrap here, just kind of keeping it protected. This must be like a standard size box that they use to ship it. So bubble wrap, a little bit more bubble wrap taped in there. And then it looks like this is the unit itself. Let's see if I can, there we go. G4 3-axis handheld steady gimbal. And then there we go. This is the extra that it kind of came with, an aluminum tube to sort of do the selfie shots with, or maybe just have a higher point of view. So very cool. I'm going to take the bubble wrap off this and continue. Okay, and there is one more layer of plastic on both items. So really packaged very well, and I didn't see any damage or anything as I was unwrapping. I'm going to go ahead and take that final layer off. This is pretty impressive. I just unwrapped the wand, and it's actual carbon fiber. It's super light, and I looked inside and I could actually see like the threads. See, there's that one there kind of, you know, I guess delaminating or something like that, but none on the outside. Very smooth, very lightweight. I assumed it was just going to be like metal. And then the box is actually really nice, a lot nicer than I expected, coming straight from China and being kind of hard to find right now. Yeah, I'm really excited to get this thing open and see what's in there. Great, so I literally slid it out, just opened it up for the first time, and got like a little guide and read me first, battery guide on how you get those in there, probably how you fit the camera in. And then there is the wand, and those are little motors. There's the 2 sets of lithium-ion batteries I was talking about, and it looks like USB and charging stuff. So very cool. I'm gonna, you know, take a little bit of time, get this out, and maybe talk about setting up the GoPro in the gimbal. See how that goes. I thought the warranty card was pretty interesting. It's basically saying, you know, you get 12 months manufacturer defects, but that they're not responsible for, you know, if you break this thing. I already took the wand out just so you could see. There's a little battery charger down there. These are 18350. 18650 are like the taller ones that they use in electric cars, electric bikes, that kind of thing. And then there's this little cubby right here that has a nice USB to micro USB dongle. It smells sweet. It actually smells like candy or something. It's kind of interesting. Standard USB wall outlet. And then there's this other piece here. Oh, actually, these screws are kind of cool. They're extra long, so that if you have like a backpack or something for your GoPro, it'll still fit with those screws. And this went on the wall. There's a European adapter. And this, okay, they talk a lot about this in the instructions, and it seems like what they're saying is plug this into that dongle before you plug it into the camera, or rather the wand, because you can kind of overload the circuits and stuff. This seems to change the voltage. So as I learn more about this, I'll chime back in and check it out. But that's the contents of the box right there. Pretty cool. Okay, it seems like the first thing to do here is to upgrade the firmware. There are two ways to use the dongle that comes with this. The first is to connect it to the computer, and it says take the batteries out of the wand, so make sure there aren't any batteries in there. Then use the USB cable plus the USB adapter to connect to your PC. Well, I have a Mac, so hopefully that will work. And the second thing it says is when you're charging, you just use the USB cable plus the power adapter. So over here I've got the Cube power adapter. That plus the USB would charge the batteries using this. If I'm just updating the software, I use the USB dongle plus this little USB adapter. Okay, and again, I think that's probably so that it doesn't overwhelm the circuitry of the wand. The other thing it said here was to go to their website. It's like Feiyu-Tech. Let's see if I can spot it on here. Yeah, there it is. Feiyu-Tech. Feiyu-tech.com. I don't like doing www, so I just typed in Feiyu-Tech.com. And apparently you do need the www, so I typed that in next, and it worked. Okay, so here we go. And now, so we're going to have to download the updates. Interesting. 2014-30, 2014-07, 1, 2. Okay, got it. So it seems like the most recent one is at the top for G4, which is what this is. If I click it, download list, Gimbal update software and manual. Okay, so I'm downloading that. We'll see what kind of file it is here. Check this out. Gimbal.rar. Okay, so I'm a little bit, nervous doing this just because it's sort of this Asian software that I don't really know. I don't really trust it. That's my first thought. It's a .rar. I'm gonna, experiment with this, get it unzipped, and see where we can go from that. But it makes me just not want to update at all. But I do want it to work properly. Okay, long story short, you do need a PC to upgrade the firmware, and I started to mess with that, and it was just too much, and I wasn't feeling great about the whole process. So I was just like, screw that. I'm not gonna update the firmware at all, and just go with it. And I've been using it now for over a month, and it's pretty cool. So there's a button on the bottom, you can see right there. You press it, and then whoosh, comes to life. Like, check that out. And now you can kind of do the thing where you move it around, and it stays flat. There are a couple different modes on this. So the default is it just like that. See, it's like perfectly level. If you press this button twice, now it's actually going to slowly respond to the up and down. See how it's not level anymore? It's still keeping everything smooth, but it's actually going to have some sort of like up and down, which is great. And then if you click it 3 times, check that out. Whoa! Now it's upside down mode, okay? And there is no, when it's in upside down mode, it can't go forward and backward. It basically just keeps it level. But that's cool, because if you're filming like a low shot like this along the ground, maybe filming the puppies or something, we don't want to film that. Yeah, it's just neat to have that. And at any time, you can kind of get back to those other modes by pressing the button again. And then, here's the threading in the top of the wand, so you could put on that extra long adapter. And yeah, it's pretty good. I haven't run out of batteries when I was using it at all. It's performed well, and I've ridden bikes with this thing, and I've used it in pretty bumpy environments, and it really smooths out the footage. So I'm here filming with my iPhone, and this is a much better setup. And then I just press the button again on the bottom, save batteries, and it's turned off, and see, it just kind of like flops around lifelessly. So yeah, I think it's a good product. It's frustrating that I don't have the latest firmware and that I feel like the website is confusing and I don't trust the software and there's all these updates. They need to do a much better job of that. I mean, it's like $400 item, and it just really felt like a gamble ordering it from overseas. It finally got here and it's great, but I see a real opportunity for them to either improve or some American company to just like, you know, make it easier to update this thing. And like, who has a, you know, like so many people who are creative, they're going to be using Macs. Okay, so fix this, you know, like, yeah, it works, it's fine, but they have different settings so that, like, you know, right now it's just on the default. So if I do that, you know, turn it on, okay, you know, it's pretty smooth, right? But if I go to the up and down thing, see how it's a little bit delayed? Wah, wah. It's like slower. I'd like it to be a little faster, and that's one of the settings that you can change with the updated firmware, but I can't because I'm not an elite hacker, I guess, is what it comes down to. So I hope this has helped you. It's a really cool piece of hardware, and I'm excited for the future of, you know, cinematography. This is basically the same thing that they use on a lot of drones and stuff. And, you know, when they do that, it's hanging from the bottom of the drone just like that, right? So the drone is flying and it's keeping the shots really stable. So this handheld version is pretty cool. I do think it's pretty expensive considering it's just, you know, a couple of gearless motors, you know, one right there and one right there. It's super quiet. You don't hear it. You know, there's no like skeleton on this, or rather waterproof casing on this GoPro. So the microphone is just right there. It's listening. It's probably super sensitive compared to if it was in one of those boxes, and it sounds great, you know. And I've even got like a little dead cat sort of makeshift puff thing there, and that helps to reduce the audio. And as I mentioned before, I'm using the shorter screws because I've got the GoPro 4, but if you had a GoPro with a backpack on it, they do have the longer screws. There's not a whole lot of room behind it, but it would work with the fatter one. So, you know, good luck. I hope this helps you, and yeah, later.